Howdy, folks. Welcome back to a very windy and cool shed. Hope everybody can hear me okay out there. There's Brian. Hello, Brian. Just give me a shout if you can hear me okay and I'm not crackly or anything of that strange nature. I'm peering out of the window here as the trees are doing this. Yeah, it's gusts of 50 miles per hour today. Yeah, it's really windy and wet. Yeah, keep losing the internet. Oh, that's a strange one. Sorry to hear that, Danny. I hope you're well. And all good. Thank you, Brian. Overdene Station. Good afternoon to you, Todd Armstrong. Hiya, man. Hope all is well there. Leamington Station is Graham. Hello there. Oh, Christmas lights are going up. That's a little bit early. That's a little bit early. Not even December yet. It's still November. Remember? Small Junction. Hello, Paul. That's Paul and Paris. Hello to you both. And Danny, of course. Newlyn Railway is Clive. Hello, Clive and Jake. So, welcome in, everybody. As you can see, I've already got things are rolling. I've got Experiment pulling the Mark II Ds and Es today, which is just popping past there in its funky RTC livery. And these are both class 24s, by the way, both Bachmann. As you can hear, there's nothing grindy or funny going on. Yeah, the poor old shed is taking a shaking today. Fences are bending, trees are leaning over. It's and any inanimate objects are not inanimate for long. There are active bins out there flying around and stuff of that nature. Lots of leaves flying everywhere. So it is what it is. Rick's Trains, hello there, nice to see you. Chuck Schreiber, welcome in. And Todd Armstrong, hello Todd. So it's been a week of freezing cold, as most of the UK dwellers will know. I gather most of the Western world is in the clutches of some fairly funky, icy conditions at this time. Things are getting down to 0 degrees Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. And things are interesting. Temperature's gone up today. We're at 16 degrees centigrade today, which is somewhere in the 50s, which isn't bad, but it's only a brief respite because it's going to get cold again. The latter part of November should see 0 degrees and freezing water again. So we'll just have to watch it. On the other side is it's a departmental loco in BR Blue, weathered, again a Bachmann class 24, stroke 1. So yeah, pretty early one. Jean Ricard. Yeah, it's all that global warming. No, it isn't. It's just Mother Nature stretching her muscles. So here is said BR 20 class 24. A little weathering on it. The weathering, I believe, was done from the factory, and it's got a very strange number on it. RDB and a whole chain of numbers after it. So it's a departmental locomotive, which meant it was probably used for its engine alone. So it sat on a siding and produced power for whatever they needed it for. Departmental loco. But as you can see, it's in operation today, pulling the Mark 1s. So while I had the rolling stock out, I thought I'd make the most of BR Blue while we're still doing that kind of stuff. Who went to the NEC this weekend? I was told it was a waste of money. Um, I think they paid a pretty penny because their Warners are a professional organisation. I think they paid through the nose for the NEC. I'm not sure how it works. I don't know if Worley were a charitable organisation and they got favourable funding. But from what I understand, Warner's really paid a heavy price. So it was probably half the size of Worley as was. So Ian71, Model Eisenbahn TV. Hello there. Nice to see you. James, good morning. And Wolf's Xenix is Paul. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you, man. Yes, I had there were a few people I know who went to the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham. They managed to pick up a couple of blue-grey Pullmans for me, trying to add in the ones I don't have. Charlestown Model Railway. Hello, Chas. Nice to see you, man. I hope all is well and the layout is suitably dust-free and working. Alan Reynolds. How's Dover today? Probably windy, I would say, but windy and warm. I think that's what the South's getting at the moment anyway. Not sure what it's like in the Midlands. What's it like up there, Brian? Box, B word. You'll have to explain that one. But yeah, there were a couple of Bachmann blue-grey Pullmans. So there's one that I haven't got. They made 8, all of different numbers, and I've got 7 now. So there's one remaining to get, and that may just be a case of eBay just to, pay a little extra through the nose. But we'll see. So yeah, that's what I'm running today. I thought I'd keep using the Mark 1 blue-grey stock and just change up the locomotives. Yeah, gales and rough seas, 15.6 degrees. Yeah, so you've got pretty much there what we've got here. There's a little few spits of rain in the air as well, which again makes things a bit strange. But I just sort of ran for the shed, so it was okay. Of course, when it starts getting really cold like it was last week, on goes the heater for an hour or two beforehand, and then I just move into the shed, open the door, shut the door as quick as possible, keep the heat in. Wet and windy on Stockton-on-Tees. Yes, France, southern France. So we're getting that little respite, but the wind speeds are, gusts of 50 miles an hour. Yeah, not good. Anthony Dodge, the model train outsider. Hello, Anthony. Nice to see you. The weather is what it is. Who controls that is as much as anybody's guess, but it's Mother Nature, and there's not much you can do about that or for that. So we just have to suffer the slings and arrows, as they say. Scott Rails, hello, Dave. Nice to see you. I hope Canada isn't too frosty at the moment. Probably James will be able to answer that one as well, and maybe Todd. Just hibernate in the train room. Yeah, that's hibernating in the shed. That's all right for hedgehogs, James, but human beings, no, too cold. Hi, Tuna Dog. Hey, it's Dwight Curley, the tuna can man himself. Nice to see you, Dwight. Looking forward to your happy event tonight. Always a bit of fun going on at the Curley household. So tune into that, 7 o'clock UK time. No train show for me. Oh, that's a shame. Um, but yeah, it was just too much of a stretch to go to Birmingham um, for what appears to be a half-sized Worley and expensive. But we had a few spies go up there. There's Andy Dobson. Hello, Andy. Hi, Andy. Leslie Gilpin has just put up a video which I'll be watching avidly a bit later. Roy Dennis. Hello, Roy. Nice to see you too. No dinghies today then? No. No. I think windsurfers would be out as well. Yeah. Too much swell, too much wind. I don't know if you can reef the sail on a windsurfer, can you? Don't think it'd do you much good in that kind of chop. But there you go. So yes, what's that about Gollum? Doesn't mind the cold because he just wears a loincloth. Well, I've got news for you, man. There's more than a loincloth today. But that's the way it is. It's you have to put some clothing on your extremities. And with me, it's always the extremities that go first: hands, fingers, fingertips, toes, yeah, and all the bits that stick out. Well, almost. Um, Posted a video yesterday, the holiday train. Oh, I haven't caught up with that one yet, James, but I will. There's Partick Hill Station. Charlie, good morning to you. Do I sleep at all? Yes, I do. I sleep very well. I think staying up all hours to catch our American and Canadian cousins pays off sometimes, but it does build up to a point where I just go, and that's the end of that. I was told there were more food stalls and only a quarter of the size of Worley. Yeah, um, I think that's probably about right, from what I understand. I think some of the people that went genuinely enjoyed the NEC, um, but obviously comparisons with Worley can be a bit fraught. Yeah, things are moving outside. I'm just listening for bangs, and it is windy. Woodthorpe International. There's Colin. Hello, Colin. It's nice to see your layout is being realised just the way you thought it would. Um, Highly technical stuff there from Colin with block detection and all this wonderful stuff. So yeah, it's great to see Colin's work. I gather Colin didn't go to the NEC. Oh, there's Timber Surf. Afternoon, not from the NEC. Okay, I'll take your word for that, Timber. And who else did I see? Grandpa Rails. Hello, JD. There's another John. Nice to see you, John. And Rich Trains, yes, indeed. So, yes, today, RTC, class 24, right here. In the funky RTC colours, which are red and blue instead of grey and blue. And on t'other line, going t'other way, again a class 24 backman in this slightly weathered BR blue with this funky departmental, what would you call it? It's not a tops number, but the number of the locomotive is departmental. So yeah, it's a bit strange. Oh, I forgot. I only go every 10 years. Yeah, right. Okay, Brian. Yeah. Well, given time, I think the Warner's version of Worley will gain a bit of traction. But no, want to spend the money on the electronics, then paying for than paying for travelling to the show. Yeah, you have to prioritise. It's nice to go to big shows, but the next one for us is going to be Alexandra Palace, which is at the end of March. So long while to go from there. You can't do everything. Yeah, you're right, Colin. Like you think it's too expensive. Well, it is, but the NEC, they've got their own financial eccentricities, particularly with parking, which can be anything up to 20 quid a day. That's the price of your ticket going in, plus the parking. So you're paying twice, literally. Friend went yesterday, said it was a waste of money. £18.50. So it's more or less 20 quid. And I think if you pre-ordered your tickets, it was £20 to get in and 25 on the gate. So you're looking at quite a hefty chunk before you've even laid eyes on a coach or a locomotive or anything like that. So yeah, the expense is definitely there, and you have to cut your cloth to suit. If it can't be done, it can't be done. You just have to send a few spies in who are definitely going to go, and then take some photos. 10 parking if ordered with a ticket in advance. Even then, 10 quid's pushing it a bit. I mean, what are they going to do with all that parking space other than being parking space? Well, nothing. It's just dead ground. So I'd rather charge the punters a £5 and have more cars there than not use the space and have half of the amount of cars at a tenner. Doesn't that make sense? I don't know. Yeah, daylight robbery. Is there any way around it? I don't know. Take the train, but then you've got the expense of the train fare. It's worth the trip because it makes an event then. Anytime we go to the NEC, what we do is drive across to... Where do we drive across to? Well, we drive across into Bedfordshire because the West Coast Main Line goes through Bedfordshire rather than Hertfordshire, which is the East Coast Main Line. So we drive across there to somewhere like Bletchley or Leighton Buzzard. That's where we go. Park up there, jump on the train, straight to the NEC. And the train ride itself it's a train ride, and we're train guys. So we enjoy that bit. You jump off at Birmingham International, which also doubles as the airport, and you just walk straight through into the event. So it does make a day of it, but it makes a long day of it because you drive to the station, train to NEC, walk around all day until your knees are starting to give out, get back on the train, try not to fall asleep while you're on the way back and miss your stop, jump out of there, get back in the car, drive across country, and you're back home. And at which point, the first thing, what your brain's telling you want to do is go and run the trains that you've just got. But the other side of you is going, I feel exhausted, I want to go to bed. Yeah. It's robbery in my warped mind, in that you have to pay for parking and a fee to get in. Just your opinion? But it's a valid opinion, Rick. It's the same for everybody, but that doesn't make it right. It was worth it get seeing all the great YouTube people. Yeah, it was, Colin. It was. I still owe you a coffee, by the way. But the coffee I did get, I enjoyed immensely. So thank you for that, Colin. Yeah, let's get you down onto the track so you can have a closer look at these little beasts. They're not very noisy machines. The Bachmann Class 24 was, in its day, a very good model. Getz was worth every penny we paid, and even the time at Worley. Yeah, that must have been really exhausting. Plus the fact that you also got ill just after that, Anthony, must have been a double whammy. And like you said yourself, it took a couple of weeks for it actually to sink in, just the magnitude of all the people and the places. But it was great. You were on top form, and that's the other thing. When you go along to meet people and you think, what if my brain's just not working today? What if I just corpse? You know, there's always that chance, because you always have days where things come to mind and it's comedic action. But you also have days where it doesn't happen. And that's always a worry. You think, what if I come across as a complete dork? Well, no, I'm a dork anyway. Right, let's get some track action, shall we? Oh, that's it. Right, because we are corded. There we go. How's that? Right on. I mean, the best shows this year were Model Rail Crew, Worley, and Stafford. May I have tea, please? Of course you can, Colin. Right, so what's coming first? This is the departmental BR Blue. A faded BR Blue with weathering on it. And it looks like there's been some oil come out of the bogies in the packet, which is leached around to the roof. I hate it when that happens. But I think it's a type of oil that you can easily wipe off with, what do I use? I use a baby wipe. You know, the wipes that you use on a baby's bum. It's more or less pure water with a tiny amount of mild detergent in it. And yeah, you can just see on the top there, it's shiny. So I'll clean that before it goes back in its box. But as a testament to Bachmann, we haven't run these in possibly a year. And straight out of the box, straight onto the track, up with the controller, and off they go. No noises, no squeaking, no grinding noises. All good, touch wood, so far. Outtakes just went up to 6 minutes 20. You mean to say, Brian, you've got 6 minutes and 20 just of outtakes? That's extraordinary. Are we really all making that amount of mistakes? Oh, I hope you like the funky RTC livery, by the way. It's particularly eye-catching, and this was an absolute bargain. Let me see if I can find the box. Yeah, here we go. I think I got this at Worley last year. Here we go. Let's plop that on there. Can you see that? I'll let you have a read of that. It's a Class 24 stroke 1, 97201, Experiment, BR, RTC blue and red. Look at the price. Bunch of non-professionals. Well, what else are we? We're all sitting in sheds and attics and basements. We're probably legends in our own minds, but to the outside world, yeah, we're all amateurs. If we were professionals, we'd be doing it for a living, and we're not. So there. Yeah, so that was £107, 97 pence, down from 174. What does it say on the screen? 174.95. That's pretty good going. This was a TMC bargain. So, of course, I snapped it up. Here's the experiment. That's what it looks like. Very, very impressive. This was before, I think, Bachmann retooled it, because I know there's some retools going on, and I think they've upgraded it to a 21 pin. I'm not sure what else they've done to it, but possibly changed the bogies and the shafts, and they might have. I think the other thing, if they're putting 21 pins in, is to make a bit of room for speakers, because hitherto it wasn't an issue when they were all DC, and it came out as a DC model. It was pre-DCC days, so there was very, very little room in there for even a micro speaker, and I think they've finally addressed that. That's probably what the main difference is. Wait, there's the plumber. Hello, Stephen. Let's see what Stephen says. Can't say hello to each and every one. You're about to head off to Richmond, Virginia for the science show set up. Hope everyone's having a great day. It's a very windy and warm day, Stephen. So I hope you have a good time. If you're going to do a video, stick it out there. We'll watch it. And take care of yourself, mate. Did anyone see Charlie Bishop's figure painting video? No, I haven't seen that yet, Roy. It's in the history to watch it, but I haven't got around to it yet. Is there anything in particular that stands out? The box said DCC. Right. Yeah, it does. 21 pin. You're right. So rather than upgrade it to 21 pin, it was already 21 pin, but I think they've taken out some of the weight in it to put speaker capability in. Yeah, it's interesting that. Fancy you spotting that, Charlie. I've not seen part 2. Oh, okay. Now, in answer to your question, Roy, I haven't seen Charlie Bishop's video yet. I might watch it. I might not, though. Seeing as Charlie stuffed Anthony over, which is that's not on, really, is it? How he does the headlights and shadows by painting black and white undercoats. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that might be worth a little watch. I just won't comment. That will hit his algorithm. If you don't want your algorithm hit, then just don't wave off people. That's just not the thing to do. I suppose as amateurs go, Charlie's probably the most professional of the amateurs, but you can't get away with doing things like that. Waving people off is it's not the thing to do. But you know, maybe that was just part of Charlie coming through that we don't see every week. Everybody's got their threshold, I suppose. Yeah, it was. I think I think it was Friday night where there was a booze up at the hotel. Charlie was quite cordial and met Anthony and all the rest of the guys. But then on the day of the exhibition, I don't know if Charlie was just having a bad one, but somebody introduced Anthony and he sort of waved it off. And I thought, well, yeah, that's not really on. If you've got a facade of being Mr. Nice Guy, you can't let it drop for a second, I'm afraid. Hilldown Model Railway. Hello, Mark. Here's something that you'll recognise. BR Blue and Grey. RTC livery on the Experiment. And there's a departmental BR Blue going the other way. For those that want to know, the departmental number, I'm reading this off the box, mind you, is RDB 968007. And of course, it's all crammed into one little tiny area where they usually have the tops number. One down Eisenbahn. Hello, Erich. And I gather probably Willie is there as well. Hello, Willie. I hope you're well this morning. There are cliques in the YouTube model railway hobby who can be dismissive of others. Yes, you're probably right, Timber. I can't say I've ever found that of your good self. You're always happy to meet people and chew the fat, which is great, you know. So that's why you're who you are. And we respect that and we like that. I will just relate that there is another locomotive in the pipeline, which is undergoing trials at the moment. It's all good so far, but I will probably reveal it either next week or the week after. There's still a little bit of work to do on it, and then I should be able to run it, and so everybody can drool over it. It is quite a nice livery, but that's as much as I'm saying at the moment. It was imported from America by our great friend Mr. Dodge. It did cost a bit, but it's worth it. Even just for the decoration, it's absolutely worth it, which is fabulous. That's as much as I will say, but I've given away that it's an American engine now, but you'll just have to wait. And I've just seen there's Ben in the chat. Hi, Ben. I hope South Wales isn't as windy as it is here. And Mum and Son train rail fans, that's Tammy and Ray. Good morning to you both. I hope you are both well and enjoying your trains. Okay, for Ray's benefit, I'll explain what's going on here. These are the passenger stock, that some of which is still in use today. But this passenger stock came in during the 50s, 60s, 70s, and was around a long time in what we affectionately call British Rail Blue. So this loco coming around now. The loco's in BR Blue, the coaches are in blue and grey. This funky one here, that's well funky. That's what we call RTC livery. Research. What does RTC stand for? Research and Training Centre, something like that. Anyway, it's like a departmental locomotive that they used at the engineering centres. So it had this really funky red colouring on it, which is just coming around now. So instead of being grey and blue or just plain blue, they put the big red stripe on it, and it made it really stand out. It really pops. And the other one is also a departmental locomotive. And what they used to do with departmental locomotives, they put it into a siding, like one of these over here, one of these here, and it would just run all day long, so they could use the power from the motor for compressors or whatever they wanted to use it for. But as you can see, this one's on the loose. Railway Technical Centre, thank you, Ben. I knew it was a blessing having Ben coming in today, because I know Ben can always get it right. I know Ben likes his US stuff, but Ben's pretty hot on British Rail and all the rest of it as well. Thank heaven. The Railway Technical Centre. Does it actually say that on the box? No, it doesn't. It just says RTC. Well, there's Chris. I didn't say good morning, Chris. Hello, Chris. And it's actually afternoon. Yeah, so as I say, these are fairly old models. This one isn't. I think I got that one last year at a knockdown price. It was just over £100 for a £200 model. Not bad. I think they just had a glut of them and they were reducing their stock. It's as simple as that. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and I snapped it up. These are Bachmann models, not the US Bachmann that you all know and hate, but this is the Bachmann branch line, which is in the UK. This version of Bachmann is quite superior to a lot of the stuff, or it's higher end. You pay the price for it usually, but it's higher end. Good mechanisms, good paint, good levels of detail without parts falling off all the time, and reliable. And there's Zoe. Hi, Zoe. I hope the US of A is dawned bright and clear this fine morning for you. We're just running some funky blue and grey British Rail rolling stock, which was, when did British Rail do blue grey? From about 1965 or 68 onwards, right through the 70s. Some say it was a bit bland, but I quite liked it. As a corporate livery, the blue and grey had a bit of both. It had a bit of dark and a bit of light and shade. I got used to it and I liked it. But it's not everybody's cup of tea. And DWM Trains, Dave, hello there. Good afternoon or morning, wherever you are. Indeed. It could be good evening. Good evening tomorrow for our Australian and New Zealand counterparts. It's good actually, because these are producing just enough noise to drown out the wind outside, which is punching out at about 50 miles an hour, causing trees and fences to bend somewhat. As I said, inanimate objects are becoming quite animate. Things like empty bins and things like that are generally being swirled around. So yes, it's a very, although it's Sunday, it's Wednesday. Oh, there's Attila. Yes, Attila. I haven't seen Robin in the streams for a while, so I hope all is well there. Yeah, last night was a very heavy, windy night. Lots of things moving around, lots of bangs, and so the doggy was up every other hour with something that was moving around that she didn't like. But dogs' ears are notoriously sensitive, and yeah, it's good. If somebody's beating the door down, she'll be the first one to know about it. Oh, she's doing okay. That's good. Yeah, it's always a difficulty trying to get into live streams, particularly if you're on the other side of the world. Oh, just dropped a few, um, what do you call them? Horn hooks on the floor. Yeah, it's Monday. It's probably Monday already. It all starts in Australia and New Zealand. Right, let's get the other aspect. Here we go, across the other side. If I back it off a little bit there, then it should focus a little better on what's coming around. Oh, timber's off. Okay. Catch you soon, timber. Don't do anything I wouldn't. Oh, look, there's a pin. And here's a coffee. Cheers, everyone. Yeah, Anthony, that's the cool blue and grey. Um, I think throughout my school days, all of our coaches and coaching stock were bathed in these two colours. So it's very much a comforting sight for many of us who rather liked it. And it was a shame to see it go, let's put it that way. To the point where it's come as a bit of a resurgence just recently. I think GBRF painted one of their Class 66s into BR blue with yellow ends. So it goes with the old false flag bit that you were initiating the conversation over. Yes, it was a quite I don't know. It was a mixed reaction to corporate blue and grey. Some people liked it. Some people thought it was bland. I think the general rule I think the general rule, Todd, is if they wanted something to stand out, they generally tended to paint it a day glow red, something like that. And those are what they call RTC, Railway Technical Centre Departmental Locomotives. And yeah, it's quite a funky, eye-catching livery. Hello, is Alan under the weather? As it's the last Sunday of the month, I hope to go live. I'm not feeling that well, a bit of a cold. Fingers crossed I'll be in the loft. Oh, that's good. Okay, Alan, but don't push yourself too hard. I mean, if you really don't feel up to it, then don't do it. But just remember that um, all of the guys coming into the live stream have a habit of making you feel better if you're doing a live stream. It just happens. There's something in the body which, I don't know, fights the cold for an hour or two. So it can have a good effect. But if you don't feel up to it, don't feel under any obligation. Just do it if you feel well enough, mate. Charlie, there's lots of empty slots. As a general rule of thumb, you can go on when you like. There are no hard and fast rules. Obviously, we don't like to tread on other people's toes, but sometimes if you've got something to say, you better come out and say it. As a general rule of thumb, if sometimes there are 3 live streams going on all at once, and I can't divide myself 3 ways, so I pick one. I think it was Go Via or Go Home. Chris was on at the same time as Anthony was doing his show last night, so I just had to pick one of the two. And of course, because because I know Anthony better, I always tend to favour. I just tend to favour Anthony anyway. But there you go. That's just me. Yeah, 3's a bit too much. Oh, there's Pete. Well, Pete, I'm glad you're doing the video. Don't apologise. The fact that you're here is good enough, matey. Thought I'd carry on with BR Blue. I've got 2 Class 24s, one in RTC, which was a steal at £107, and the other one is another departmental in BR Blue. Yeah, technically it's Artie's show, yeah. It is, yeah. And from what I understand, Artie may well be back in December, which is good news. But again, don't feel under any obligation. If you've got things to sort them out first, and then come back in a fresh mindset, as they say. Yeah, Artie will be back. You can't keep a good Aussie down. So he'll be filling his billy can pretty soon and boiling it up for a nice cuppa. I'm sure of it. More coffee. Cheers, everybody. Now, you know you had Randall on the stream, Anthony, and he was saying that the Labelle oil lasts forever. Well, as you can see, it doesn't. That bottle there is on its last knockings. There is a tiny bit remaining. But I must have got that at least 10 years ago. So that's lasted pretty well. So that's 10 years worth in, what kind of size is that? 14.9 milliliters. So that probably is an imperial bottle, but obviously if they sell it in Europe or England, it has to have the stupid metric equivalent, which is 14.9 milliliters. But yeah, very good value. And fear not, there is another one up there. You're having Wawa. The only Wawa I know comes out of a Wawa pedal. And it's great if you want to sound like Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix, or you want to do some 1970s funky stuff. Unless you'd like to expand on that, Zoe. What does it mean after you print something and you wash it and then cure it and it's sticky? Oh, that's a 3D printing question. Go for it, Digger. Art is coming back. In fact, it's not left. He's always watching and visits the channel. Even comments. It's closer than you think. Absolutely. Okay, Ian, thanks for coming in. Always a pleasure having your company. Take it easy on the layout. Oh, there's a challenge been laid down for Artie there from Dwight Curley. He can't comment at the moment, but he's watching. Yeah, you can bet your bottom dollar he is. Let's give you a slightly different angle here. There's the reverse angle. Whoop. Better. Sam's trains? Never. Sam's trains? Are you sure? Sam's trains. Wawa, convenience stores. I know only from, well, there's your problem. Sam's trains. Well, I never. I wonder if it's the Sam's trains or another Sam's trains. Interesting. Anyway, hello, Sam's trains. Welcome in. These are British Rail 1970s and 80s coaching stock today. in the genuine blue and grey colour. Except for this one coming around now, which is RTC, which is a red and blue colour. It's a bloody secret spy. Yeah. Right. Let's see. Back there. There we are. He's there in plain sight. Yeah, well, I did think you were a bit quiet, Brian. But it's nice to see you've got 6 minutes of bloopers in the bag now. How many more until your next live stream, I wonder? When is your next live stream, Brian? There was something pretty weird on his channel last week. Really? Oh, there's Signal Cabin. Hello, Signal Cabin. Chris is here, but he's covered with Yoo-hoo glue. Trying to stick a loco share together. Interesting. First Saturday of December, so a couple of weeks yet. Oh, okay. Well, if anybody does any train bloopers, derailments, locos falling off the track, they could be vocal bloopers, send them to Brian at Finnerton Central Model Railway, and Brian will include them on his bloopers video, which is now 6 minutes long. And there's Pete. Hello, Pete. Had that problem in the week, Chris. Stuck to my best hoodie. Oh yeah, Yoo-hoo glue. I did have a tube of it here somewhere, but it's hiding. Yeah, in its yellow tube. Yeah. Rather nasty, stringy stuff. I've always thought it smelled like bananas, actually. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, do that, Signal Cabin. Anything you've got. Yeah, this month, the longest ever. I think I probably set the ball rolling on that one, didn't I? That'll teach me for not using one of these. Yeah, you know what one of those is, don't you? Yeah, for checking the back-to-backs on your wheels. Whack that in between the wheels, and it should be 16.5 millimeters. But was it? Heck, was it? Send them through Messenger if you can. My neighbour cannot walk today, so you're stuck with me. I can think of worse people to be stuck with, Charlie. Well, Anthony, if you need one, I'll get one and send it over to you. We have a new subscriber. Thank you, GRE. That's very kind of you. I think I'm up at something like 394 at the moment, so that could be 395. I think I'm 5 away from 400, which is no mean feat, and I'm extremely grateful. Lashenda West is Wesley. Say hello to Wesley, everybody. Good morning to you, Wesley. I hope you are well. I'm doing okay. Doing okay. Yeah, the spiders run your trains for you. Don't get too much problem with spiders, although they do knock over a few figures occasionally. It's more woodlouse They do. I find their husks everywhere, so it's probably the spiders eating them and just discarding the husks. Right, let me grab you. Back on the jolly computer. We have 36 in with 29 likes, so thank you everybody for that. I will be drawing it to a close in a minute, but it's quite comfortable in here at the moment. The little heater is doing its best, and yeah, it's quite comfortable. There is one thing I wanted to mention before I go. I was on a live stream. It's not a live stream, it's a video. Somebody I subscribed to, and there was one phrase in there that I really didn't like. It was something in the order of "you lot." Now, in the UK, this is not like saying "y'all," as you would in the States. The little phrase "you lot" has a negative inflection in Britain, in particular, and maybe the Commonwealth. It's almost a derogatory thing. And when somebody calls me "you lot," it's like, what are you lot doing here? It's always said in that kind of way in the UK. And that really irritates me, to the point where I unsubscribed, and that was the end of that. So if anybody is thinking of using the little phrase "you lot," think twice about that before you address a UK audience. The hoi polloi, yeah, it's that kind of thing. And I looked it up. I thought, am I just being oversensitive? But no, it's seen as a derogatory term in the UK. And I thought as much, but it just struck me as being, oh, if I'm not good enough to watch your channel, I'll unsubscribe. So I did. So I don't know if I'm just being oversensitive or what, but that just stuck in my throat. Yeah, you know how to wind me up now, Pete. You lot. No, I wouldn't use that term. That's a horrid term. It's a kind of term you use amongst friends when you want to say, what are you lot doing here? And it's said with a sneer. So I would never use that. I'd say, howdy folks, welcome friends, how's everybody doing? It's supposed to be a joyous occasion, doing either a video or a live stream. There's nothing but joy. Got trains running, nice warm shed. It's windy outside, but not in here, fortunately. Stay off the beans. Oh, there's Eric. Hello, Eric. So yeah, it was just a nasty little comment said in the wrong way at the wrong time, and I thought, oh, I'm not good enough to lick your shoes. Right, okay, boom, you're gone. I knew the phrase was something negative, did not know it was derogatory. Don't use the term to all people anyhow. I shall make sure not to do it. Yeah, it just came across as a snub. And I thought, well, if you're going to snub me, matey, you're done. Bing! And that was that. So it's just a shame that happened. And I may well revisit the site if I'm being a bit over the top. But it just struck me as an odd saying. The person who said it must have known that it was edgy. 18 degrees centigrade in the cabin, no heaters either. Well, that's not bad, Pete. I think it's 16 outside at the moment, degrees centigrade, which isn't bad. It's in the 50s. The little heater's helping. I always have the door cracked open a jar because obviously a paraffin heater, there's carbon monoxide coming out as well. So you always have the door open a crack just to give some ventilation. But that's really old school. I'm in the US, and you have no clue what the word is. It's a bit likened to saying y'all, as you would say it in the States. Hi y'all, but it's not. In the UK, you lot is a derogatory term. So I'll just put that out there. Uh, it hasn't riled me or anything like that. It just I thought that was unnecessary of the person to say that, and the connotations can be that boom, you can unsubscribe. So I did, and I thought, I don't need to be spoken to that way. But yes, it's buddies. Um, yeah, there are ways to address people, and you lot isn't one of them. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't know if Graham's doing a live stream today. He may well be at the NEC, the National Exhibition Centre. Yeah, we don't want bad stuff to happen. Um, yeah, it is. It's a little. It was a little upsetting, and it just brought me up sharply. And I thought that's totally unnecessary. You know, I tuned in for a little light entertainment, not to be spoken to that way, and it just off. Um, not to a bunch of people you don't know, but it's okay with mates. Yeah, you can say that to mates, and they'll take it with a pinch of salt, but it's delivered with a sting. So, what are you lot doing here? Ah, you've been sleeping with the pigs again? But that's the way I read it, and I thought, no, not for me, not today. Perhaps it was just I was just having a midlife crisis that day. I don't know. Anyway, look, thanks everybody for coming in. It is funny. I mean, Anthony could go on and on about language and customs and things we have. It's like, yeah, pack a bastard. Yeah, yeah, it's a bit like that. You could say that to your friends, but to casual acquaintances, no, you wouldn't go there because you may well get a fist-related tooth disorder. And as I've just got these, I don't want one of those. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming in. It's always a joy to see you here. And you're not having, yeah, why not smile? Now I can. I want to use it. Thanks everybody for coming in and sharing the trains and chewing the fat. And I'll catch up with you in Dwight's live stream later. If anybody else fancies going on today, I don't think anybody is going on after me. So if anybody wants to do that, Ivo's a bit late to the show. Who's next in line today? Well, we were just debating this, and I'm not sure. Charlie, if you want to have a bash, I don't think anybody's lined up because I don't think Graham's said anything, and I haven't had an indication that he's going live. So I don't know. If anybody wants to have a crack, Alan Reynolds is coming up later. That'll be tonight, probably 9 o'clock, something like that, Alan, or 8 o'clock. Dwight's on at 7. He might be hanging Christmas lights on the house. Oh, yeah, but it's still November, Anthony. I don't know. Anyway, is there any rules? No, not really. Rule number 1. Here's rule number 1. Run what you like, when you like, and enjoy yourself. And I'll catch you all in the streams. And if not, I'll see you next Sunday. And take care, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains, as our friend Mr. Dodge says. Take care, everybody. Bye.